The diplomatic chamber on Luna Station buzzed with tension as representatives from 12 worlds debated trade routes that could spark the next interstellar war. Jace Harlan, at 28 the youngest envoy Earth had ever sent, watched the Tkor delegation with growing fascination. Their leader commanded attention without effort. Vaila Tkor stood nearly 6 feet tall, her pale violet skin seeming to shimmer under the artificial lights. Dark curls framed angular features that spoke of both nobility and barely contained power. When she spoke, her voice carried authority that made even the Centauri admirals listen. The Outer Rim worlds need protection, not exploitation, she declared, fixing Jace with eyes the color of deep amethyst. Earth's expansion cannot come at the cost of indigenous sovereignty. Jace found himself nodding before he realized it. Their eyes met across the chamber, and something electric passed between them, a recognition that transcended species and politics. Later, as delegates filtered toward their quarters, Vaila approached him in the observation lounge. Stars wheeled slowly beyond the transparent aluminum walls. "You supported our position today," she said, settling beside him on the cushioned bench. This close, he could see the intricate tattoos spiraling along her forearms, symbols of rank and achievement in Tkor society. "It was the right thing to do," Jace replied. "Though it probably cost me points with the Colonial Council." Her laugh was rich, musical. An honest diplomat. How refreshing. They talked deep into the station's night cycle, sharing stories of their homeworlds, their hopes for peace. Vaila's fierce passion for justice matched her physical beauty, and Jace felt himself falling harder with each exchange. 3 days later, as negotiations reached their climax, Vaila requested a private audience. In his temporary office, she stood before his desk with ceremonial formality. "Jace Harlan of Earth," she began, her voice carrying new weight. "Our worlds need lasting peace. But more than that, I find myself drawn to your spirit, your honor." She extended her hand, palm up. "I propose a house bond between us. Let our union seal this treaty and bind our peoples together." Jace's heart hammered as he reached for her violet-skinned hand. Her skin felt warm, electric. "Yes," he whispered, then stronger, "Yes, Vaila. I accept." She smiled, and in that moment, Jace believed he'd found both love and purpose in one perfect choice. The embassy villa's morning peace shattered with the roar of atmospheric engines. Jace looked up from diplomatic briefings as 5 figures descended from a sleek Tkor transport, their pale violet skin luminous in Earth's early sunlight. His heart stopped. Each woman bore the same ethereal beauty as Vaila, dark curls catching the breeze, amethyst eyes gleaming with intelligence and purpose. But where Vaila carried herself with diplomatic grace, these newcomers radiated different energies entirely. The tallest moved with predatory precision, battle scars mapping stories across her exposed arms. Another floated forward with dancer-like fluidity, her empathic nature evident in how she unconsciously mirrored the emotions of those around her. A third bounced on her toes, violet eyes sparkling with mischievous curiosity as she examined the villa's human architecture with obvious plans for improvement. The fourth remained perfectly still, her gaze fixed on something beyond the physical realm, calculating cosmic patterns only she could perceive. The last practically vibrated with creative energy, her fingers already sketching invisible art in the air. "Beloved sisters," Vaila greeted them in the melodic Tkor tongue, embracing each with genuine warmth. Jace approached slowly, diplomatic instincts warring with growing confusion. "Vaila, who are these?" "Your new family," she replied, switching to English. "Jace, meet Kira, our house's military strategist." The scarred woman nodded curtly. "Naya, our empathic healer." A gentle smile. "Zeph, our chief engineer." An enthusiastic wave. "Thera, our mystic navigator." A knowing look that seemed to peer into his soul. "And Yara, our artist chronicler." She sketched a quick bow. "Family?" Jace's voice cracked. "Vaila, what's going on?" Kira stepped forward, her bearing unmistakably military. You accepted the house bond 3 days ago. The ceremony was legally binding across 17 star systems. I thought we were just married. You and me. Naya's empathic abilities clearly picked up his mounting panic. She winced sympathetically. Oh no. He truly didn't understand. Understand what? Jace demanded. Vaila took his trembling hands. The house bond unites all unbonded sisters of breeding age with one chosen mate. We share everything, resources, responsibilities, living arrangements. Her violet cheeks darkened slightly. Intimate duties. You're our husband now, Yara added brightly, completely oblivious to his shocked expression. Isn't that wonderful? Thera's mystical voice carried otherworldly certainty. The psychic resonance has already begun weaving our souls together. I can feel the bond threads taking root. Jace collapsed into the nearest chair. 6 wives. 6 gorgeous, brilliant, alien wives. Zeph bounded over, grinning. Don't look so terrified, husband mine. We're going to have so much fun together. Her predatory smile suggested her definition of fun might kill him. 3 weeks of living with 6 alien wives had transformed Jace's orderly diplomatic existence into beautiful, exhausting chaos. The villa buzzed with constant activity as each sister claimed her domain. Kira had converted his private study into a tactical command center, complete with holographic threat assessments and security protocols that would shame Earth's military. Your species' defensive strategies are charmingly primitive, she announced over breakfast, making Jace nearly inhale his coffee. I've catalogued 43 ways hostile forces could breach this compound. Meanwhile, Zeph had upgraded every mechanical system in the building. The shower now offered rainfall simulations from 12 different worlds, the kitchen produced delicacies from across the galaxy, and the doors opened with uncanny timing, though walking around in towels had become inadvisable. Yara had transformed the conservatory into an art studio where she painted impossible landscapes that seemed to move when viewed peripherally. Thera spent hours on the observation deck, mapping stellar coordinates and muttering about convergence patterns in their mystical tongue. The sleeping arrangements remained diplomatically complex. Core culture expected intimate rotation among bonded partners, but Jace had been managing awkward goodnight embraces before retreating to increasingly smaller spaces in his own home. Everything changed the night Earth's Colonial Council delivered their ultimatum. Choose one legal spouse within 48 hours or face immediate recall, the message stated coldly. Jace sat in his darkened office, hyperventilating as panic overwhelmed his diplomatic training. Duty to Earth warred against something deeper he couldn't yet name. Naya found him there, her empathic abilities drawn by his distress. She entered silently, settling beside him without words. I can feel your fear, she whispered, taking his trembling hand. Let me help. Through their nascent psychic connection, her calm flowed into him like warm honey. His racing heartbeat slowed as her empathic gift wrapped around his panic. Better? She asked gently. When he nodded, she leaned closer. Their first real kiss was soft exploration, not just physical but emotional communion. Through their bond, he felt her joy at finally connecting, her relief that he wasn't rejecting them. We are family, Jace, she murmured against his lips. All of us together. That's what the house bond truly means. Their lovemaking was gentle revelation, Naya's empathic nature ensuring perfect synchronization as pleasure and emotion flowed between them. Afterward, as they lay entwined, he finally understood what he'd been fighting. The next morning brought crisis. 3 assassins had infiltrated the compound during the night, targeting Earth's corrupted diplomat. Kira neutralized them with surgical precision before Jace even knew danger existed. How did you? He began. Threat pattern analysis, she replied, securing the last unconscious attacker. Your security was pathetic, but your family now. She smiled, the first genuine warmth he'd seen from the stoic warrior. We protect what's ours. Standing there, watching his violet-skinned wife efficiently handle trained killers while wearing nothing but a sleep tunic, something fundamental shifted in Jace's understanding. These weren't just beautiful aliens who'd invaded his life. They were partners, protectors, a support system beyond anything he'd imagined. "Thank you," he said simply. Kira's smile widened. "Thank me properly tonight, husband." The word no longer terrified him. The transformation began subtly, like dawn breaking over alien skies. Jace discovered himself anticipating Thera's midnight sessions on the observatory deck, where she charted celestial navigation routes while he brought wine and wonder. Humans perceive constellations as mythological pictures, she explained one starlit evening, her fingers weaving patterns of light through the air. We experience them as musical mathematics, cosmic harmonies resonating across spacetime itself. "Show me," he requested, settling beside her on the observation platform's cushioned seating. Her mysterious smile transformed her usually solemn features. "Give me your consciousness." When their minds touched through the psychic bond, reality shifted. Suddenly he perceived the universe as Thera did, vast symphonies written in stellar fire, each world contributing unique melodies to infinite cosmic compositions. The overwhelming beauty brought tears to his eyes. "Now you truly see," she whispered, and when their lips met, the kiss tasted of starlight and eternity. Their intimate joining that night transcended physical pleasure, minds intertwining as deeply as bodies. Through their bond, he experienced her millennia of loneliness finally healing, while she felt his amazement at discovering love could expand infinitely rather than diminish when shared. Days later, Zeph ambushed him in the workshop she'd claimed in the villa's eastern wing. Quantum lubricant smudged her violet cheek as she tinkered with something that hummed with barely contained energy. "What masterpiece are you creating now?" he asked, genuinely fascinated. Her infectious grin lit up the cluttered space. "A surprise requiring your human perspective. The interface needs organic compatibility." Collaborating proved intoxicating. Zeph's brilliant engineering intellect complemented his diplomatic precision in unexpected harmonies. When she absently kissed his neck while explaining quantum resonance equations, the gesture felt natural as breathing. "The acoustics in here are perfect," she murmured against his ear, "and the door locks automatically." Their passion was playful exploration, Zeph approaching intimacy with the same enthusiastic curiosity she brought to impossible engineering projects. Afterward, as they lay entwined on the workshop's improvised bed, she activated her surprise, holographic aurora borealis dancing across the ceiling in Earth's familiar colors. "For my favorite human," she said simply. The psychic bond strengthened daily, weaving them into something unprecedented. During formal embassy functions, he felt Vaila's satisfaction when negotiations progressed smoothly. Kira's protective instincts surrounded their family like invisible armor. Yara's artistic passion painted their shared emotional landscape in brilliant hues, while Naya's empathy created harmony from potential chaos. But external pressure mounted relentlessly. Earth's government demanded explanations. Tkore's traditional houses questioned Vaila's choice of alien mate. Protesters gathered outside the embassy with signs reading, "Species purity," and "Monogamy or madness." "They radiate such hatred," Naya observed during one particularly violent demonstration, her empathic sensitivity wounded by the crowd's hostility. Jace pulled her against him, feeling through their bond how strangers' fear and anger cut at her gentle nature. "I'm sorry you must endure this poison." "We endure everything together," Vaila declared firmly, her arms encircling them both. "Family means never facing darkness alone." But Jace wondered how long 6 hearts could withstand 2 worlds' concentrated disapproval. The final ultimatum arrived via secure diplomatic channels, bearing Earth's highest governmental seals. Envoy Harlan will dissolve his polygamous arrangement and designate one legal spouse within 24 hours, or face immediate extradition and prosecution for violating interspecies marriage statutes. Jace's hands trembled as he read the document. Around him, the villa fell into unnatural silence as 6 hearts shattered simultaneously through their completed psychic bond. "We comprehend the situation," Vaila said, slipping seamlessly into diplomatic mode despite the devastation radiating through their connection. "We always knew this outcome was probable." Through their mental link, he felt their unified decision forming: they would depart Earth rather than force him to choose between them and everything he'd sacrificed years to build. Absolutely not, he declared, surprising them all. Kira's tactical mind immediately assessed possibilities. Jace, be rational. Your career. My career be damned. The words felt liberating. You want me to choose? I choose you. All of you. Yara's artistic soul blazed with hope through their bond. But the consequences will be whatever they are. Jace stood, resolution crystallizing with each heartbeat. I know who I am now. I'm not merely Earth's diplomatic representative, I'm your husband, part of this extraordinary family. He activated the embassy's quantum communication array, establishing simultaneous broadcasts to Earth's Colonial Assembly and Tkores Matriarchal Council. His wives instinctively gathered around him, their presence strengthening his courage. I am Jace Harlan, he began, his voice steady despite everything at stake. 4 months ago, I believed myself a diplomat who couldn't afford emotional complications. Today, I stand before 2 worlds as a man who has learned that love doesn't diminish when shared, it multiplies exponentially. Through their psychic bond, their emotions surged like ocean waves: Naya's healing empathy, Kira's fierce protective instincts, Zeph's innovative joy, Thera's cosmic wisdom, Yara's passionate creativity, and Vaila's unwavering leadership. The Tkor house bond isn't about one individual claiming multiple partners, he continued, meeting the camera's unblinking eye. It's about becoming something transcendent, greater than any sum of parts. These 6 remarkable beings haven't simply accepted me into their family structure, they've made me complete in ways I never realized I was fragmented. The responses would arrive swiftly and brutally: his immediate recall, criminal proceedings, permanent exile from Earth's diplomatic services. But surrounded by his wives, their love flowing through the fully realized psychic connection, Jace experienced only profound peace. Earth taught me duty and protocol, he concluded, gazing directly into the recording device. Tkor taught me the true meaning of family bonds. And my wives taught me that sometimes the most diplomatic action is following your heart's truth, regardless of consequences. Hours later, as they celebrated with Zeph's specially programmed aurora painting the ceiling in rainbow fire, Thera took his hand with characteristic mystical certainty. The bond has achieved perfect completion, she announced, her otherworldly senses confirming what they all felt. We are now truly unified, one family, one heart, one soul. Jace smiled, surrounded by pale violet skin and dark curls, by brilliant minds and fierce hearts that had chosen him as completely as he had chosen them. He'd sacrificed a career but gained something infinitely more precious. Among the stars, he'd finally discovered home.